Howdy Laura, this is Arna, and I'm making this videogram for you with your questions. So once this video has been completed, you have been elevated to a higher status in your own database. So it's something I welcome. The more you learn, the better. Let me turn on a highlighter. So this is your database, and I'm logged in as me. Now I'm going to open up the File menu here, and I'm going to pick the menu called Rule. And I'm just going to search for whatever was there. I'm just going to bring it up. So I've got a window with Rule in it now. Let's maximize it. What we're interested in is you want to control how shipping works. So I'm going to pick shipping rules here in the search, which is here. And then over here, I'm now going to pick shipping rules. So the view and the search match. And as you can see, you have each state twice. Florida twice. Illinois twice, etc. And the reason for that is that each state has whether it's residential or not. So you have a yes and a no here. So that's why there's twice the number of states. And then this is the magic thing that you're looking for. This is how to ship it. This is the default shipping method. Okay, so what we want to do is change all these to next day. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to change them in your database to next day, and then I'm going to set them all back to second day, and then you can change them yourself later on. But I'm doing this in your database, so this is real. Now, we could search on this one thing, but we can also just sort it. So you see also we have these stagecoaches. So these are the states that go by stagecoach. And the other states go by, looks like you are a FedEx kind of gal. Now you can mix this all up. You can go different carriers in different states, like you got Stagecoach, but you can also go UPS, God forbid, in a state if you want. So what I want to do is I want to change all these to ground. So I'm going to highlight the first one, and I'm going to scroll down, and I'm going to highlight the last one. And what I've done now is I've selected all except for the Stagecoach. And then I will right mouse or go to Actions, Update Rule, and we'll pick that we want the ship method to be ground. Well, we don't have a ground. So let's fix that. We don't have ground. And that, I know, is your other question. So I did this sort of deliberately. And the next thing you need to follow up, pay attention here. So we're going to go to the network menu, and we're going to pick Setup Selection. And then when this search window comes up, just put search %. Exactly what I'm typing here. And it's going to show you everything to do with shipping. More than we need, but I need to show it all to you so you can kind of get a flavor for it. Turn that off. So here comes a window now. And these are our ship vias, of which you're using 2. These are the ship types. Oops, I double clicked by mistake. These are the two ship types that you currently have set up for the manager system. So this is manager, and I don't believe that's the POS though. I think that's just manager. And then these ones, we have ship type here, ship type ACW, that is the website. So we've got ship type here. Sorry, it's very sensitive, my mouse. So I got two ship types here, I got two ship types here, and we'll, at the end we'll take a look if there is such a thing as a POS ship type. I actually don't know the answer to that. There probably is. Now what you want to do is you want to set all these to be next day air. So I had said earlier ground, and there was no ground. So let's come back to ground later, because you're only doing ground in the winter. So I'm going to select all these guys. I'm just going to hit Control A, and then I'm going to deselect these guys here using the Control key. No, I'm not. It's too difficult. Let's just highlight here, highlight at the bottom. Now I've got them all selected, and I'm going to go Action, Update Rule, and I don't want to go ground. I made a mistake before. You wanted to go next day. So I say next day, and voila, they're all now next day. So the defaults are now next day in all the states that we just did. So you can control this by state. If I just wanted to do Colorado, I want to do an update rule on Colorado. Let's make that second day. There you go. Now, so I don't upset anything, I'm going to set them all back to being second day, so they are back to where they were before. Okay, so that's really simple to do. You can do one, or you can do many, and you can do one at a time right here. It's just a field. Next day. George, I'm doing a video. Talk to you later.
Bye.
So that's how you control the default rule. But we need to, when winter comes, we need to go and add that selection. So set up, network setup selection. Ship. Here they all are. Now we want to add one. It's coming, winter's coming, and we're going to add one. And you have a choice here. You can add it to manager. So let's just go new record, right mouse, new record. Let me scoot this over so it's real close. And I'm just going to pick the one I've got and hit the copy button. Then I just have to put the word ground, and the description is, anything you like. It's not used. The only thing that matters is the word ground. And I'm going to add that, and it'll add it to the bottom, as you can see. So let's do a refresh. I'm going to highlight that on so you can see what I'm pushing. Push this button, and that will refresh this view. And now you can see I've got, in Manager, I've added a new kind of shipping called ground. Now let's say that you don't want ground on the shopping cart. Well, then you don't add ground to the shopping cart. Now, let's say I do want ground on the shopping cart. Then again, I would go right mouse, new record. I click on the one I want to copy. Let's copy doesn't matter, any one of these two. Copy it, which is this button right here. And then I just put in ground. And the text doesn't not, the description does not matter, but if you like to have it, you can see we try to keep things tidy. And then let's do a refresh on that search, and you can see now I've got ground on the website, and now I've got ground in Manager. Now I'm going to delete both of those because I know you do not want ground, and I can do that by highlighter on. I can highlight the ground and then click on this for delete. I can right mouse it for delete. I can hit the delete key, or I can double click on it and there's another delete key there. So lots of ways to delete. Not that we're encouraging deleting. Get that turned off. Get that little yellow spot gone. And I'm going to delete ground by just right mouse and go delete. It's going to say, are you sure about that? Now I got no ground on the shopping cart, and I got no ground in Manager when I delete it. Okay, so this controls. Now there was a whole bunch of international crap in here. I got rid of all of that. I said, what the hell is this in here for? So I cleaned up your database, got rid of all that international stuff. If I made a mistake and you need international shipping back, let me know. I'll bring it back, but that seemed like that was not needed. And so that's all there is to it. And you can add any kind of service you like to this. But if you add something that is a service that FedEx doesn't understand, then you're going to get an error. I mean, they understand second day, next day, ground, and unfortunately that's going to be a subject of the conversation here is what words do FedEx accept? Cold chain is not one of those words. You can certainly add cold chain, but it's not going to produce any labels for you. So I need to give you a presentation on where you can find out what are the valid words that you can use. So I'll do that at the end. So I think everything is explained. You just need to open up rules, and you pick the highlighter on. You pick the search shipping rules, view shipping rules, and here are all your rules. And you can control that by state, whether residential or not. There's even a switch here I see to control whether you want to use the weather tool in that state. So now, in order for you to use, notice that I'm logged in. I'm going to get rid of all the windows. We don't need this anymore. I'm logged in as a full operator. So I've got, this is my, on my left, this is what I've got to work with in terms of the buttons. On the menu, this is what I see. Now, if you are going to be playing around with rules and you want your business rules set up so you can actually get to them more quickly, let me turn here into your preferences. We'll turn you into a a magenta color. No, I don't like that color. This color. And we will also, here, condensed vertical toolbar. So let's turn that off. And then hit OK. So you get a couple more icons. One of those icons is rule. And you can always go up to them here if you don't want to use this. You can always get them here. But if you want to have more quick access to them, now you've got more icons down on the left. However, I need to show you these words. You need to know what real words are. Obviously, if you say ground ground X or ground P or ground Q, FedEx will not know what that means. So what I've done is I've done something that you've never had before, is I've made an administration account for you. You are called, so this is your account here. Your login is Laura_admin. Account's never been used, and it's GoLaura01 is your first password to get in. GoLaura01, all lowercase, Laura_admin. So this is an admin account for you. And I am going to use my admin account to show you these words. So we'll log out and get back in. So I'm going to use my account, which is administrator. So this is exactly what you would then see. It'd just be your name instead of mine. You're now an administrator. You have seating at the table. And down here, Laura. Okay, that's our announcement. Web designer on board. Here is what we're looking for. We're looking down here for translation. So there's an icon down here, let me highlight, called translation. This is a little bit of a magic thing. This is the thing that translates languages. And I already set up a search that I'm searching only on FedEx Web Services, which is what we use. So I'm searching on FedEx Web Services. So these are all the things to do with FedEx. And I have sorted it by the subtype. So I've got the service here, I've got payment here, package, and so on. Now you'll notice this section right here. This is FedEx service. So in Active Club, if you use the word ground, which is the internal name, that translates to the external FedEx name of that. If you use this, it's this. If you use this, it's this. Now, we do have these international things in here. I don't know. We had to do that to get the certification. So these are the words that you can use, because they have to be able to translate into a FedEx word. So you can use any of those words. Don't use ground home. Stay away from that one. So I'm sorry to have to do that at the end there to make it more complicated, but you probably never need to use this. You just need to know what the words are. I've shown you what the words are, and you should be good to go. So I shall sign out, say farewell, and I hope this was helpful to you, Laura.